welcome back to the vendor table.
Hi.
Wow. How you doing?
I'm actually feeling quite good now that the sun is out.
Oh, your seasonal depression, as you said, has left the chat.
Left the chat. I feel good now.
It's exciting.
I've been spending a lot of time outside.
Are you going to complain about, like, the pollen?
Well, yeah, because it's destroying my life.
It's just one or the other. It's like,
I'm never okay. Like, not fully okay.
Say, are you ever 100%?
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm either breaking out in hives, depressed, or my eyes are swollen shut because of the pollen.
You're just a ray of sunshine.
I'm just doing my best.
We're just doing our best here. We're in the wedding season. It's great to say that.
I'm so excited.
It's really exciting to say that. I'm on wedding number 3. I shot 3, 1 elopement, and I have 1 this weekend. How many you on?
I have my 3rd coming up next weekend.
Nice. So we're in it.
And then we're working together at the end of the month.
Yes, we are. We should do some BTS.
Did you miss me?
Oh, God. My bride, Anne-Marie, is very excited for you to be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she requested you. When they booked me, she's like, okay, I'm a big fan of the podcast. Can Lauren shoot the wedding? And I was just like, I'll see if she's available. God damn it.
He hates this.
I hate it so much. I am made some investments, so I got new lenses.
I'm so proud of you.
I bit the bullet that came in yesterday.
You're gonna be so happy.
I wasn't happy pressing purchase on B&H's website.
I definitely wasn't either, but
yeah.
I am now.
I tried the 50 out. Yeah, so I got a 50 and a 135, the RF series, if anyone's interested. And they seem really buttery, smooth, and delicious. My 135 shit the bed last week. Literally couldn't focus beyond like 30 feet. And I was just like, no, here it goes.
So sad.
It's 11 years old.
R.I.P.
So I bought that lens for $800 11 years ago. And I was thinking about it, probably taking like 200,000 images with that, right? Got me good business, got me like, all that stuff. My 50 is my Sigma 50 art series was a gift. I actually got that gifted. And I was thinking about that. That is like it's on 90% of my photos. Like, I love that lens. I was so sad to like hang that up, but it's just the time. It's just time to do. And
I can't wait for you to like see the difference.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see the difference and see how it goes because, like we're using the EF lenses on the RF cameras weren't really designed for that. Like you use the adapter. So I'm excited to see how it goes. It should be fun. So it'll be my first wedding.
I don't know if it's just me, but they're not as, how like with the Sigma lens or any other like third-party lens that's on the adapter, it just seemed like they were not pixelated, but they were rough. Like,
yeah, they had like texture to it. But I always liked that. I always felt like Sigma lenses had character. Like I've always felt like they had like a good character to them.
No, I miss like that like creaminess that was on like the creaminess. I miss the creaminess.
So delicious.
Just all the perverts on the internet are gonna come up for that. But the that like creamy like skin and like the bokeh and everything that was on the Mark IV with those lenses. I
feel like the Mark IV was just a superior
camera. It is a superior camera.
The Mark III I think was the best camera out of all of them.
I hated that one.
Oh, I love the colors on the Mark III. But before we just go on a tangent about camera gear, because you guys will get bored real quick, we're here to talk all about AI in the industry in 2024. Okay. We had an episode last year about AI when AI started to make like the rounds, right? It started to become popular. You had generative fill. You had programs starting to come in like Imagen, who is a sponsor of the podcast. They started making like AI editors. AI culling is a thing now for wedding photographers. But AI in the industry in general has been popping up more and more.
And now we have issues.
And there's a lot of issues popping up. So we're going to talk all about it today.
We're going to talk about all the issues, all the problems.
There's a lot of it. A lot that are little minor, okay? But there are some that are major. And I think not only photographers should look out for it, but other industry pros as well as couples should look out for this shit, because it's crazy.
Yeah. Let's go into it.
So, all right. So one of the first things we are seeing is photographers are actually building an entire portfolio based around AI images and selling clients on it.
This like boils my blood. Because not only is it really deceptive, but it's also taking, I mean, the whole concept of AI is that it's taking other people's images and creating using those. Mm-hmm. So it's drafting an entirely new image based on other people's work. And a lot of times without their knowledge.
Yeah. And so it's using likenesses, it's using like people that exist in the real world, but it's using them in an AI generated form. And to the naked eye, to the untrained eye, I should say. The
untrained eye, for sure.
Like, it could be passed off as real. And we're seeing photographers fake their entire portfolio.
The problem with it, too, is that AI is only getting better in terms of realism. It's not going backwards ever. So it's just increasing in its, like, believability. And it's, you know, if you're a photographer or if you're an artist and you're a digital artist, you can see this stuff from a mile away.
Yeah.
If you look at like their hands, or you'll notice that everyone's face is the same in the picture, or like something's just not quite right.
Everything's too perfect.
Everything's too perfect. The pores are, even in the pores in the skin, when they do have people in these images, the pores are uniform. Like they're not.
There's not a hair out of place.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said that like even the professional retouchers would have trouble retouching the way like these AI generated photos are. So we're seeing it more and more. And it's not just like, oh, you're generating the background. No, it's generating people. So it's actually making people look like they're in the scene. And like you could type in, you know, add bride and groom dancing in a field, like with golden hour sunset, and AI will generate that for you, and it will look pretty damn good.
It's crazy. Like we've seen, I mean, you see countless AI accounts on Instagram now, like that. And I've seen it in like on Facebook, for example. I'm seeing like the older generation of people that I'm friends with on there sharing AI images as if they are real. And they're like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And it's like, no, that isn't real. That's not a picture from the 70s.
That's so fucked up.
Like, that's not real. And then they're like, how do you know it's not real? And I'm like, it's 11 people wearing the same outfit, looking in the same direction.
Yeah. It's like,
look at their hands.
But these people are untrained.
Yeah.
The key is like, look at the hands. Mm-hmm. Like for whatever reason, AI can't do hands right. Like, it's so fucking weird. It just can't do hands right. But everyone's hands look like this.
They have like 13 fingers.
Yeah. So if you look at people's hands closely, that's how you could kind of tell. But yeah, I've seen some crazy shit. I saw a photographer had an Instagram, got called out. Their entire Instagram was AI generated. And they had like 5,000 followers built up from it. Finally, they started running ads, and people caught on the ads. That like they were like, oh, book now, see your rates and all this stuff, and people were like commenting on the ad like, this is AI generated, this is AI generated.
Yeah, none of this is real.
And people, I'm sure they got inquiries from those ads because the images looked really nice. Like you scrolling real quick, you're like, that looks kind of cool, and then you stop and you look and you're like, even on a phone you could tell that's not real.
Something's not right. I mean, some of them are really convincing. Like extremely convincing, especially if they're like far away. Yeah. You know, like if the subject of the image is far away and you can't see those little details, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
How realistic they can get, and people will look at that and be like, "Wow, that's incredible. That's an incredible photograph." It's not though, and it's terrifying.
It's not a real fucking photo.
It's not.
It's not real. Stop fucking lying, assholes.
It's scary. It's scary because like people are falling victim to it. And while we will be talking about this again in like a scam episode.
Oh yeah.
But this is like a trend we're seeing. And I think the thing that set us off on wanting to do this episode was we saw a planner. Was it a planner that posted?
Might have been, yeah.
Some photos for, I would imagine, inspiration.
Oh, AI inspiration.
But it's such an unrealistic inspiration photo.
Yeah. AI inspo, like, so I put up a poll or like one of those question thingies that we do on Instagram. It was like, you know, AI inspired photos, like wedding inspiration. Would you use this for inspiration? A lot of people didn't even know that people were using AI for wedding inspo photos. And some were like, most of the people said, you know, it's cool, but it's not
useless.
It's useless, you know, kind of thing. And a lot of people are like, this is totally uncool. Like, so
it is. It's, I mean, there's down to its bones, like we said before in previous episodes, it's stealing. It's like a sneaky way of stealing other people's work. So artists right now are pissed. They are pissed. They are so mad.
The style shoot community is like,
well, that's the other thing is like some people are not going to know if an AI generated image is a styled shoot or an editorial. I feel like AI is coming for the editorial and beauty industry.
Oh, 1,000%.
I'm nervous on their behalf because of how, I mean, editorial and beauty is in a lot of ways unrealistic as it is because of the heavy amount of retouching involved or like these incredibly elaborate set designs.
Yeah.
If AI can do it without having to pay people.
Oh, yeah.
That's the collapse of an entire industry.
You would think though, like, okay. And I'm seeing this in marketing and advertising too, like, because my background was marketing and advertising. I've seen campaigns where they literally take like a photo of the edge of a pool, right? Like, okay. And they put a towel in AI generated. They added a logo AI generated. They added all these things around a glass with a shadow AI generated and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, that's like that's crazy that they just built an ad AI generated in 5 minutes. That would have taken a day of set design, like waiting for the right light. Like, so it's definitely going to impact the industry, especially editorial, like you said. I think it's really going to impact that industry where marketing, advertising as well, everything's AI generated. I mean, we mentioned this earlier, but the big Hollywood strike was based around AI, like AI scripts and AI writing and then like AI acting even. Like I saw... did you see this? Like, it was like they made AI make a real life version of The Simpsons, AI generated. Did you see that? It was like crazy looking though, and it made like the people look like real people, but it was like mocked up of The Simpsons. Fucking crazy.
It's scary.
Like I saw a 1840s California gold rush like thing. It'll make it look AI vintage. A helicopter fly through. It looked like a movie scene.
I know.
And I'm like, but you could tell like there were things off. Like there was like a guy riding a horse, and all of a sudden he disappeared. Yeah. And like the water, like they were flying over a river, and the river was flowing in two different directions and stuff. It was like, but like if you're just like kind of going through it quick, you'd be like, yo, that's kind of cool. That's really trippy. So
it's wild.
I think this shit used properly and regulated properly is going to change the game, but you're going to have
to be regulated.
You're going to have the scammers that take advantage of this shit. We've seen it. All right. You have the photographers building fake portfolios based on AI images. Now you're going to have, editorial. You're going to have all this stuff, inspiration, like all going to be AI based, right? Even like this was posted, and I'm going to call them out too. Okay. Wedding Chicks posted an AI generated images from an entire set of like for bridal inspo, floating tables in the water. Right. And like all these, like it looked beautiful and all this stuff. They didn't disclose it was AI. Everybody in the comments came after them. And were like, this is AI generated. This is AI generated. And like the person they credited was an AI generated artist. Like she makes AI art, but they didn't disclose this is AI generated. I think that's like the next step is like you have to disclose this is AI generated.
I think so. I mean, when you're doing like a paid partnership with somebody, you have to disclose that it's a paid partnership or an ad.
Yeah.
Like you can't deceptively promote a product like with just the intention of getting money from it. You have to disclose that you're being paid to promote it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you have to disclose that a deceptively posted image isn't real?
Yeah.
Like you should. Like you should. But also I have so many concerns about AI because like where does the licensing come in? Like how are these images being taken? Obviously, like there's such a gray area with it because it's creating a new image based on other images, which is exactly what we used to do with digital art, right? Photo manipulation.
Yeah.
We used to take but all of those pieces were supposed to be licensed.
Yeah.
Like you would get them off of Getty Images or something like that, and you would build it over the course of hours or days or weeks.
Yeah.
But you know, now that you've removed that aspect, like who's giving permission for this to happen?
I was curious about that. Like, are they taking like images from Adobe stock and using them because those are licensed and using them to build it? I don't know how it works. I'm pretty sure that's probably how it happens is they're using stock images, building the AI generated stuff from Adobe stock images, which they have the license to because all of that, and then repurposing them. I could see AI, I could see eventually, I think they talked about this, but like generative fill, for example, is probably going to be a paid portion of Photoshop soon. Like it's in a beta stage now. Everyone's using it. It's kind of cool. It's fun, all that stuff. But I could see that eventually people are going to have to pay for that.
It changed a little bit because I remember then it was like, you would have to pay to make it go faster or something like that. Like you get a certain amount of uses out of the generative fill tool. And then when that runs out, it basically just takes longer.
Yeah.
Which like, okay.
It's like, how long does it take? An hour? Because I could walk away from the computer.
Like,
and,
it doesn't bother me. But I don't know. I could see it being a paid feature, which would piss me off because of how much I've already paid for my life with Adobe.
Remember when Photoshop was like $700 and like
you could just buy it outright?
You buy it and you owned it.
And it was yours forever?
Yeah. Now it's everything subscription based. Everything's subscription based. Everything. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, everything is subscription based. I'm grandfathered into a lot of things. Like I have a lot of old like subscriptions that they had to grandfather me in because I was like doing it before and stuff like that. A lot of like photo programs and everything like that. And now I'm like running out of space on certain things. And I'm like, motherfucker, they're going to get me for like an extra 20 bucks.
They're going to get you.
They're going to get me for 20 bucks extra a month. God damn it. I lasted this long, but everything's subscription based. But I do remember the days when like you just buy Photoshop. I think I had Photoshop CS5 for like, I think I paid $700.
I remember CS6 and CX4.
Yeah, I remember CS4.
CS. Why do I keep saying X?
CX. So we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Maru. Maru is a modern payment experience for the wedding and events industry. Lauren, have you been using Maru a lot lately?
I've been using Maru to pay my contractors.
That's a great way.
And send invoices. It's really easy. It's great to pass off the processing fees. So it saves me a little bit of money, and it's also really easy and straightforward for everybody to pay. Whereas sometimes it can be a bit of a process to use other companies like Venmo or Zelle.
Oh, yeah. Like we hate those processing fees. So
annoying.
Maru does give you the ability to do that and pass off those fees. It's a community, over 9,000 wedding and event professionals, and they're growing every day. They offer seamless transactions and hassle-free payment experience, and they make it possible to focus on what you do best, creating a memorable experience. All right. So with Maru, we talked about it, but you can accept and make payments without processing fees, offer clients a simpler experience, no need to sign up, just pay and go, and keep all your payments neatly organized in one central hub. And like Lauren said, if you have contractors, second shooters that like work underneath you, and you need a quick way to pay them and avoid those fees that like, you know, Venmo throws at you, things like that. Well, Maru gives you the ability to pay contractors right from the platform. Makes things so easy. You could sign up for free at maru.us/TVT.
Like, just had a conversation the other day, and I'm sorry, this is a tangent, but it's so funny. Do you remember Flickr?
Yeah.
And do you remember DeviantArt?
Yeah. I used to love DeviantArt. Oh my God. I love Flickr too. The Flickr days. Who was in the Flickr days?
Flickr. I miss Flickr. It was a simpler time.
Yeah. I know you miss Tumblr.
Yeah.
Lauren was a Tumblr queen.
Yeah. I got rid of my account when they got rid of porn. That was unfair.
Lauren was like a Tumblr queen, and she had like all the quotes and inspiration.
Yeah, you can't find me now, so don't even try. The account is gone.
A lot of self-portraits.
It's dead.
I just remember those days, like the Flickr days, Tumblr, DeviantArt. I was on all that shit.
Do you remember your DeviantArt username?
No, I don't. What was yours?
Lorelei X04.
Wow. That's pretty. Okay. I thought it would be worse.
I was just a poser. I was trying so hard to be Laura Jade.
I don't know who Laura Jade is. I don't know who that is.
A lot of photographers will. They'll know.
I was like I know you know her, but the Alicia Net days of Tumblr. And,
I love that girl.
I know you took photos of her and everything like that, but she was like the queen.
She's still the queen.
The queen of Flickr and Tumblr and all those sites. Oh my God, it took us down the rabbit hole of like the past. But I remember those days, and I remember if like DeviantArt was still around today, I'm sure we would see a lot of like AI generated art. On there, and it would be so fucked up.
There was so much on DeviantArt that was like the I guess the predecessor to AI generated. Like it was all so many photo manipulations, fractals, and like weird stuff that was just super cool and dark.
Yeah. I remember I had my wallpaper of my desktop on my computer was this like DeviantArt generated thing of Scarlett Johansson. And I was just like, yeah, typical like 22-year-old, like, yeah, Scarlett Johansson. It was like this like graphic thing, like all this stuff, and I was just like, yeah, I'm so cool. I went on DeviantArt and got this, you know.
One of my favorite DeviantArt artists I still follow, his name is Federico Beber. It's probably not pronounced that way, but he's Italian, and like I still follow him and talk to him to this day, and this is like going back 20 years.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's wild.
But he's just gotten better and better. And Brooke Shaden.
I don't know who that is either.
Brooke Shaden, she's one of like the most like of our time. I feel like one of the more prolific like photo manipulator artists.
Yeah.
Like she is incredible.
You sounded really old there. Of our time.
I mean, for real, if we're going back to like those days, that's really what I mean, because she's still going, and now she's like, she's an educator, and
awesome.
does master classes on this shit. Rosie Hardy too.
Yeah.
All of those amazingly talented people who were the ones that pioneered this like kind of thing, this unique kind of thing in photography that now AI has just been able to do in under a minute.
I always think about like, you know, it's AI is making things easier. It really is. AI is making things easier, especially for photographers, artists, things like that. Where if you're using to supplement certain features, right? You're using it to speed up processes, like say Imagen. You're using it to speed your editing up, like it gives you more time back, like that you could put towards other things. Like, you know, they have culling features, things along those lines where, you know, it's going to sort images for you. It's going to find like this photo is out of focus, all that stuff. I think AI in that retrospect is really good if used properly, when, you know, and it's used respectfully. Yeah, like, you know, it has to be, because otherwise you're going to have, everything's going to be too perfect.
Yeah, like when we talked about the generative fill tool when we first got it, you know, when it first came out. You know, we tried to add birds, we tried to add things to the photos. And like at the end of the day, like I think the only thing that I did once for background wise to add in was mountains. And I was like, wow, this actually looks really fucking cool.
It looks cool when you have mountains.
You know, like
we don't live in the mountains.
No, it worked.
It looks cool.
It worked, and I did it for like 2 bonus images, like duplicated them and sent them to the client. But it's such a useful tool to remove things. Like for me, that was the
huge.
That was the biggest like thing that helped me.
Do you know how many telephone wires I've removed from images using generative fill?
Not even that. The remove tool.
It's fucking awesome.
The remove tool was added after generative fill, and that thing, you know those like stakes that are in the ground with the reflective stakes at Robert Moses?
Yeah, it's so easy.
Bang, 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 gone.
It's like, get out of here.
So great.
It's amazing. And we're like,
so great.
So using AI in that retrospect to remove items, oh my God, it's so great.
I've removed hotel AC units.
Yes. Oh God, I love that.
So great.
I love that stuff. I like little things too. Changing a plastic hanger on a dress. I did that and I had a clip go viral for that. But changing the plastic hanger on a dress to like a white, like elegant hanger. Like little things like that. My bride loved that when I did that. Like little things where you could change little details.
Not having to use the healing brush to get rid of stray hairs on someone's face.
Awesome. Like,
so great.
So it's not all bad. There are some really great useful features. Like you said, you added mountains. I had a client that she's a wildlife, she's a safari tour guide, and she wanted to do a branding shoot. Her name's Jenna. She's incredible. And she wanted photos of her with her camera, like looking like it's in Africa. So we went to the only area on Long Island that kind of could pass off of that, which is Sunken Meadow Park, and like by a river and all this stuff, and like there are trees, and so I took a photo of her. Like it was golden hour, it was beautiful. I added elephant herd in the background in the water. Like I typed in elephant herd out of focus in water, blah 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 blah. It fucking looked awesome. And I was like, holy shit, like that actually like could pass off. And I have a photo of her. She's looking back at the camera, like at me, and like she has her camera like that. And there's it looks like there's animals in the water. There's no animals there. So I added that in, and like it's a perfect brochure piece. It's a perfect like branding thing. So you can use it usefully and make it look realistic, but I think certain things should be disclosed if you're doing that. You know, like you really should disclose, like, hey, if you're manipulating an image to the point where you're adding things in, you should really disclose, like, this is AI generated, this isn't real, things like that, because at the end of the day, it's misleading to a client.
I'll tell you what, I have not tried to add birds to any of my photos after that one time.
God.
It went so wrong.
Add birds. Doesn't work.
Went so wrong.
Doesn't. Gigantic seagull, like right in your face. Like I still try. I have still tried to this day. I like anytime I have a blank sky, I'm like, I want to just see how AI is doing with birds. It doesn't do birds right. It does not do birds right. It's like the hands. It just fucks shit up.
There's a photographer I follow in Florida who carries potato chips with her, and she just throws them out and the seagulls all fly to the potato chips.
That's smart. I had a session where they were all on the beach and I just had the couple stir them up, like just run to them. And it was great. And I had like the birds flying around and everything like that. I fucking love that.
I love birds.
Birds are great. They're great. Like
they're a good additive.
I call them paid actors when they're flying around. But no, so AI in the industry in 2024, both good and bad. I think we're only going to see it progress. You know, we're only going to see it progress through through the next few years, and it's going to be, I think, harder to tell that it's AI as we go. I think we need to have disclaimers on things if it's AI generated, and I think, you know, a lot of countries are starting to do that. They're actually starting to say, like, you know, if it's AI manipulated, you have to.
I know a lot of like designers are using. Like interior designers are using AI to build inspiration for certain rooms and stuff. And some of the things that I've seen, they're honestly amazing, but it's like, you have to just say that it's AI.
Yeah.
Because some of them are extremely convincing. You know, my own husband has sent me like a ton of different posts, and he's just like, look at this. And I'm like, that's not real.
That's not real. Yeah.
It's not real. And he's like, shattered.
Yeah. It's like, it would be cool.
It would be great, but it's not real.
Not real.
The same thing that was for like the wedding inspo you're talking about. It's like a lot of these ideas, these visuals, they look really cool, but they're not doable.
They're not real.
You can't put like a whole ass table. You can't. People are just
floating table.
A floating table with like cushions and stuff. It sounds great, looks amazing, but like you're gonna be wet.
Like
all the linens are gonna be wet.
Are we thinking about like the fact that like if there's a wave?
Yeah.
Are we thinking about this? It's not real. Like maybe in a pool, even in a pool, like somebody gets in the water, that shit's fucked up.
There
like
goes your meal.
Could you imagine like waiters walking out with like food trays and like 4 feet of water, like here?
Oh, it looks so delicious, and then like a kid does a cannonball. That's it. Takes out your meal.
It's like fucking kids at weddings.
Can I have another?
That's like, what are we talking about though? Like, it's not. It looks cool. It's very like, oh, inspo and shit. That shit ain't real. That shit ain't real.
I feel like it's that. Is it real or cake?
Yeah. Oh, AI.
Is it real or AI?
AI is definitely cake. That should be a good show. Is it real or AI? And then like have like photographers try to distinguish it.
Not even photographers, just a regular everyday person.
Regular everyday people.
I would love that.
That would be a great show. A good concept.
And there's like just a panel of photographers judging you silently.
We should patent that, like, and do that. We should do that. Ooh, that would be a
real
good segment.
Real or AI?
Real or AI? We should do that as a segment.
Nobody take our idea.
Fuck you guys. Wow, this has been fun. AI in the industry in 2024. It's been, we're excited to see where it goes, but also
terrified.
Yeah, very, very much so. Well, Lauren, where can they find you?
You can find me at LaurenO'BrienPhoto.com, Lauren O'Brien Photo, and the Feral Photog on Instagram. Michael, where can they find you?
At Michael Casara Photo on Instagram, TikTok, as well as my website. And you can find us at the Vendor Table Pod on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, as well as
our Facebook group,
which is like
growing
huge right now. Almost 2,000,
our little baby.
Almost 2,000 members. Join the combo.
It's actually, I'm really enjoying like the amount of engagement that we're getting in there, and really, really good questions that we're getting from people too.
Yeah. So join up, check us out. Well, we'll catch you next time.
Okay, bye.